Let's begin. Let's continue our book excerpt journey. And this time, we're going to the Solar War. So let us begin. Father, he is waiting. He has always been waiting. In this place, there is no time. Not truly. Not unless the forces within its tides dream it into being. Here, eternity is true. Father, slowly, with weariness and reluctance, informs the idea of eyes, of a mouth, of limbs, of the chair beneath him. Far off, there is another chair, and a thread of thought that tether him back to a place of metal and stone in time. Father. He opens his eyes. Darkness lies before him, extending through every dimension. Darkness and him alone. In that moment, he feels the echo of every man or woman who has ever woken beside a guttering fire to see the night creeping closer as the flame light fades. The darkness became a black mirror. He looked into his reflection. A man on a stone chair, old, dark skin clinging to the hollows of his cheeks. Iron and snow streaks his beard. The shoulders and limbs beneath his plain black robes are thin. Dust marks the bored soles of his feet. His eyes are clear, and there is neither kindness nor pity in them. The chair and the man sit on a low stone platform. Behind him burns a wall of fire that curves up and away, blazing and flaring like the surface of a star. The reflection changes. For an instant, a figure of iron and blades with cold furnace eyes is looking back at him from a throne of chrome. Then, it is gone, and the reflection is a blur of images falling one on top another. A golden warrior standing with drawn sword before the gates of a towering fortress. A figure before the mouth of a mountain cave. A boy with a stick and fear in his eyes. A queen with a spear atop a cliff. An eagle with 10 wings beating against a thunder-threaded sky. On and on. Images stumbling over each other like the faces of cards tossed through the air. Is there any truth in you? Asks the voice that comes from the dark. The images vanish and the darkness hangs before him. It falls into the abyss beneath like a cascade of obsidian sand. At the root of your lies, is there any truth, Father? The darkness becomes a forest, dark trunks reaching to an untouchable sky, roots crawling out and down into the abyss beneath. The man on the chair is sitting on the snow-covered ground, a fire burning before him. A shadow moves out of the dark between the trees. It is a huge sable-furred and silver-eyed. Drags its shadow with it as it comes forward. It pauses on the edge of light. You claim to be a man, says the wolf, but as a lie revealed to any that can see you here. You deny you wish godhood, but you raise up an empire to praise you. You call yourself the master of mankind, and perhaps that is the only truth you ever spoke, that you wish to make your children slaves. The wolf tilts its head, and for a second it is not a wolf, but a bloated shadow, veined with lightning, its eye holes punched into a red furnace. But this son, growls the wolf, muscles coiling under black fur, lips peeling back over teeth. This son has returned to your cradle of lies. The wolf leaps. The forest blinks to a sheet of curdled black and migraine color. The shadow of a man reaches across the dark with hands that are claws. The fire flares, roaring up to become a burning wall, and the claws rake the blaze. Shadow burns the ash and cinders. The wolf recoils, howling. Lightning laces the dark of the forest. The wolf pads along the boundary of the firelight. Behind it, other eyes shine the deeper shadows between the trees, bright and cold as the light of cruel stars. The man turns his head. He's now looking at the wolf, but to the blackness beyond. "I deny you," he says, and in this place that is more real than life, it is yet as unreal as a dream. His words shake the dark like thunder. Excuse me a moment. Where was I? Yep, here. "Will you not even talk to me, father? Now as your empire of lies ends, will you not tell me the truth?" "You are shadows," says the man. "Nothing more. You offer nothing. You are nothing. You come with a puppet child, but you did not tell him why you need him. You need him because you have nothing that is true. No sword that is not a falsehood. No strength that is not a lie. You need him because you are weak. You need him. You fear him. And he will fail you." Laughter fills the night, beating like wings, rattling with the sound of the dying trying to breathe, coiling over and over in chuckling loops. The darkness billows forward, stretching, coiling, squeezing. The man on the stone chair flinches. The fire bends and shrinks. The image of a man flickers too. For a second, it looks like a corpse sitting on a throne, the bones of his hands gripping its arms in pain. He closes his eyes. The images begin to blur, as though seen through a dusty wind. The laughter raises higher and higher. It has always been this way, again and again, in countless forms and metaphors, death and darkness wearing countless faces. On and on the cycle, repeating and growing in strength as the night crowds hungrily in. And just as then, so now, there is only one answer to it. Murder. Blood and endings. Sacrifice and death. "I am returned," comes the voice of the wolf in the dark. "I deny you," says the man, as the images fade to the echo of a dream, and laughter that does not end. Ooh. Pretty interesting one. Now, here's also a little bit of an excerpt from "The Board is Said" by Gav Trope that this Reddit user has put here. "What would you give me?" asks Revelation, once more laying his hands in his lap, his attention focused on the sigillite. "My life." "You have already given that." "My death, if you wish to be pedantic." "What of your soul?" "You say that no such things exists?" "We are short on time. Allow me a little metaphysical shorthand. What is your soul worth to you?" Now, obviously, Malcador calls this thing revelation. And it's pretty interesting, and it really speaks to some great powers that play during the Horus Heresy, and even during 40k itself, especially now with those, what are they called? The Dark Imperium books, and basically the Emperor saving Guilliman at the last second.